I'm going to wait until people show up. But first, hi, present yourself. You have comments. I'm really here to interact with you. I'm just really excited to see who's here, what you need. Like, ask me questions. I'm channeling. I've channeled the plan. I have a program. If I'm all alone, I can do that for like an hour. If you're here and like asking me questions that I'm going to channel answers for, then we can spend way more time. I'm prepared. I'm excited. So hi, who's here? Hi, Christian. Thank you so much for being here. So where are you in the world as well? Like, I'm in south of France. It's 4 p.m. The sun is setting slowly, so I think we'll get some good lights. I'm in my grandfather's desk, which is kind of a dream come true to be here right now. A little bit what we're doing. And hi, so thank you so much for being here. Okay, I'm so glad. Mashi from Japan. Hi. So what we're going to do is that we are slowly going to start with a meditation. We're going to be here together and we're going to bring up some serenity and calm. I know a lot of you might be in the morning for you. So I hope that you had a slow morning. Then I'll give you some healing. I'm going to channel some healing and direct us towards some frequencies that could be helping us with the third eye. I'm excited about that. And, again, like, give me what you've got. Like, tell me what happened. Describe it to me. Like, I'm really like looking forward to this. I'm going to open a frequency that I've been working with. It's called Divine Will. I'm going to toss to the next human being, to us next human beings. So yes, apparently my connection isn't stable. All right. And then we'll talk, like, present me if you have any kind of problem with this, with connecting to your divine self, with spirituality itself, like, what is your problem? We'll talk about this together. And then we'll implement on what we've done together and what it could look like in daily life, offering solutions, like practical solutions, things that can help you. So yeah, I'm going to give it a few more minutes because I know some people can be a little bit late. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Kian Hionak. Thank you, Jess, for being here. Yes, Jessica. All right. Or anything. Hi. My name is Capucine. I'm a student and I just really love exploring what's out there and what's up. Listen to different things. I teach what I discover. So yeah, I'm divine. Today is your documentary into, yeah. So hi Miranda, thank you for being here. So part of my work is actually going deeper into all the chakras. We are known to have 7 individual chakras, but it's not the real thing. We have way more energy points. So my website and like everything is called Meet Your Energy Field because I'm interested all about that. I've done workshops for most of the chakras. I had 2 left, and that's what I'm doing right now, which is the third eye. Next month we'll do the crown for free as well. Next week I'm offering the Soul Star Chakra, channeling your Akashic records, and the Soul Star all has to do with soul healing. So I was like, let's do the third eye. Let's do the third eye together to give you that entry point into soul healing. So meditating. I am. Let's go. All right. So if you're sitting in a place where and rest and know that you're not going to be interrupted, know that you will, might fall asleep, might come back, we'll see. But just like open yourself up to my voice, to where the energy will take you, and we're going to get you ready for the next healing. So settle down, wall, or even lay down in the bed or on the ground. Get yourself comfortable. and start breathing fully into your belly. So inhale through the nose, and it raises your belly out in into the air, into what was before you. And then you exhale. And your belly goes all the way up until your spine. And if that's so. And you're going to continue raising this air into your lungs, into your belly, and then exhale. One more time, in, and then. So now we're going to switch it up a bit. And every time you breathe in, we're going to direct the energy that we breathe in towards our third eye. So the third eye is a point between your brows. So you can visualize it as your face, but it's really like deep down into your skull. It's the pineal gland. So when I activate my third eye, I feel like the place behind my nose in the middle is very pressurized and wants to come out. So that's how I third eye. So we're gonna breathe in with the nose, and we're gonna direct that energy between the brow and like that middle ground behind your nose. So bring in this energy, pure oxygen, and then out. Let's do it again. And out. Now I want you to find the source of light. For me, the sun is here. If you have a lamp, if you have the sun, if you have the moon, if you even have the light of the computer screen or phone, just put your nose towards that light and then breathe in and see before your eyes. Visualize that light coming from the outside towards your in. So we're bringing light to the pineal gland. So breathe in and out. In and out. And one last big in. Bringing that light, bringing the sun, bringing all the energy in and out. And you're going to keep your eyes closed. And together, we're going to visualize climbing a series of stairs. And step after step, we're climbing towards the stairs of our nose, of our skull. And we're just going to go deeper and deeper. And with us, we're bringing a torch. So we have a torch of that fire, of that sun, of that light that we just activated. So even if you're meandering in the dark and you are surrounded by, a tunnel or something that is in obscurity, you're walking deep, step by step, with your torch, with your fire. And we don't know what's there. But we're bringing light to it. We're bringing warmth to it. We're bringing a change, a quantum change, temperature, visible light, and the invisible light, the UV spectrum. So let's go. Let's continue. And as you continue to go higher and higher in this staircase, you're going to witness that some things are written along the walls of this staircase. There's different hieroglyphs, there's different images, different words, different symbols, and they retrace different aspects of your life, whether it's this life or your past lives. And if you want, you can start to look at them and climb in a slow way and just witness what's there. Bring the torch around those hieroglyphs. around those images. What color is being used? Is it brutal? Is it peaceful? Is it something you're ready to face, or is it something you just want to avoid and continue climbing? You're safe, you're not alone. So continue walking deep and witnessing what's there. And now I'm going to give you a pen, a marker, some clay, some chalk, whichever you decide. And you're going to find an empty wall as you go higher. And you're going to start drawing what you would like this life to reflect. Maybe it's your perception being heard. Maybe it's your point of view being valuable enough to be inscribed on those walls. Maybe it's just the moment, a mantra, a symbol. But a lot has been written for you, and today we're writing it yourself. We're choosing. And sometimes when we express, it allows us to go towards the new. When we finally express, it's often the end of that chapter and we can move to something new. So we're going to catalyze that moment, catalyze the past, catalyze the present. Feel free to write anything that you want to write. And once you're done, we're going to continue climbing some steps. And we're going to get to a door. So with the torch in one hand and the door in the other, enter a new space. And it's entirely dark. It's a sacred space. It's your inner temple. This is where you can meet yourself, meet the god, the goddess within. And you're going to find a place where to put that torch. And you could start dancing, you could start crying, laughing, whatever you want to do between those four walls, surrounded by obscurity. You do whatever you want, just express yourself, no one sees you. You're entirely free to scream or anything else. And once all of this has been expressed, I would love for you to sit, maybe in a corner, maybe in the middle of the room, and start just letting it come to you, letting the present, letting the past, letting the thoughts come to you. And we're going to stay neutral when we see them. We're just going to notice what's there. Is it an emotion? Is it a fact? Is it resentment, guilt, shame? And anytime one of them comes up to you, I would like you to ask your divine perception to give you an answer to the question you ask. Ask a question about that. What is it teaching you? What is the advice regarding that situation? Every time you have an answer, I would love for you to see that situation be inflamed and end up as ash, just truly ash when you burn something up. So when the situation has been catalyzed, answered by divine perception, just set it on fire and let it fall on the ground as ash. And you do that with all the different situations. So now we're going to gather all the ash and we're going to make one pile. And maybe the pile is bigger than you, but we're going to gather it up. You can visualize magically doing that or using a broom. And with the perception of this being the past, we're actually going to enter that pile of ash and we're going to stay in it. and all that energy, all the past being integrated, all the solutions being brought forward, all that clarity, all that deep connection with yourself, with your heart, is going to transform you into a phoenix. And you're going to rise from those ashes. So I really want you to visualize those beautiful wings, this body filled with flames coming out of the ash and getting high in the sky, out of your temple, out of your four walls. And what we're going to do is fly. Just fly away, take some distance from all of it. And we're going to go up from the third eye to the crown. And we're going to continue to go high and fly as consciousness towards our soul star, which is approximately here, where my hands meet. And then just rain down as energy, reborn, seen, witnessed, and rain all the way down on all sides, all the way down around you, cleansing your aura, protecting your aura, meeting again at your feet, and then slowly entering the sole of your feet. And that energy, that fire, that consciousness, that rebirth is going to go into your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips. And all of that energy just cleanses your insides, cleanses, detoxes your energy into your belly, every organ, entering your rib cage, your liver, your stomach, your spleen, all the way up into your heart, your lungs, your sternum, into your shoulder blades, meeting and separating into your arms, your hands, your fingertips, your nails, and then all the way up into your neck, your jaw, your temples, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your forehead, and your hair. And we're going to have a big inhale and a big exhale. Another big inhale and a big exhale. Last one, big inhale and big exhale. And you can stretch. Move your shoulders. Stretch your neck, your fingers, your feet. Just take time to come back into the physical body. Have some water. Take your time. If you want to take notes, I really encourage that. Like, take your notes. I can wait. Write, even you could write here, or you could write on paper. You could read perspectives. So feel free to share, or feel free to take the time to share with your future self. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. Just drinking water. So we're going to go into the healing part of that session. And I usually feel in my body, and I'm training myself to not do that because that's a lot of people. It's a lot of energy for one person. So what we're going to do is that I'm actually going to direct us towards a frequency. I'm going to open that door into portal is a word that we don't use anymore, right? It's been such a joke this week on Twitter, the word portal. But anyway, so we're going to open that door. I'm going to open that door into the divine will frequency. It is connected with Arcturus, and we had a recent alignment with Arcturus. So I want to do that because that frequency, when you let yourself be showered with it, will connect you with divine will. I first thought with my logic that I should be opening the frequency of omniscience, which is knowing all. But of course, this is channeled, and they were like, no, divine will. So I was like, okay, cool, let's just do divine will. So is everyone ready for that, or are you still writing? Let me know in the comments. We have to talk about consent for a minute. When you receive energy from others, you have to give your consent, and you should be aware that they should be asking for your consent, because that would be just that would be abuse in a way. Like, a lot of things could be sent your way, and if you don't know that you actually are the master of your energy field and you get to decide what comes in and what comes out, it also plays out in your boundaries in real life, in physical life. So same with Reiki, same with frequency healing, same with anything. People should be asking you consent. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm asking you, do you consent to it or not? If you don't, just say no, just log off, or just be like this, because you're closing yourself off, which is cool. If you don't want to, if you do want to, then you could say yes in the comments, or you could open yourself, you could breathe it in, let yourself receive. I do want to implement one thing, and that's what I do in sessions. Ask your body for consent right now. So it could be in two different sentences. One, do I trust this energy? So say it out loud. Say it to your body. Do I trust her energy? Do I trust this healing? And then you wait. And you will see, either in your gut or your body will have a twitch. You will know if it's a yes or no. And either you say that, or do you say, am I receptive and in the state where I can take in a new energy in my body, in my energy body? Like, your ego could be wanting this healing, but your body could be retracting and say no. So we need everyone in harmony to decide yes or no. So I'm going to let you ask right now if you are in a space where you can receive new energy, and if you trust it, and if you want to open to it. So ask. Yes, we've got 2 yes. Cool. But there's a few more people here, so let me know. I'm going to ask myself if I'm okay for receiving it as well. Yeah, I'm good. I got my hand here, but I've also got one hand on the solar plexus, and I'm just asking, because the solar plexus is also the nervous system, so it's like super connected. Okay, we've got a lot of yes. Cool. Yes. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you can open your eyes or you can close your eyes. I'm going to be giving light language with my voice, with my signs, and I'm also going to open that energy. So either way, if you open your eyes or close your eyes, it's going to work if you accept it to receive it. Make sure that you are hydrated enough. Make sure that you do have water before and after. So let's go. So continuing on our meditation, I would love for you to imagine, and hi Karen, I'm happy you're here. Yeah, let's sit down. Let's sit down in this place and let's visualize sitting down in the safest space that you enjoy. Could be the very top of a mountain, could be watching a sunset on the beach, could be anything. But I would love for you to get into the mode of connecting with the space. And maybe you could use a finger and maybe touch the water on the beach and just touch your forehead, touch the third eye placement between your brows. Or maybe you are on top of a mountain and you have snow or mud. I would love for you to just connect with the body in a way that looks and sounds and resonates as a sacrament to yourself. So visualize that, have fun, make a whole ceremony in your mind, and then let yourself be transported by this. So I'm setting the intentions that we open or seal our divine will, and we are able to connect with the purest perception, which is our highest self, or the Akashic records, or the records that we find within this earth. It might be accompanied by the protection of Archangel Michael, the pure Archangel Michael, this entity that protects and is that divine will. When we open this together, we might recollect our alien DNA, our Arcturian DNA. Maybe you had incarnations there, maybe you've been there, maybe you are from there. But I'm gonna let them help me open this portal, open this door of divine will. And so that people watching here now and people watching the replay might benefit from this transmission. Oh yes, yes, oh yes, yes, Just opening that river into you, coming down from your crown into your third eye. Your highest self being facilitated into your being, into your physical being. Only the purest light, only the most divine light, only the one that understands you have free will. That's the thing as well, the connection with the highest self. They have a will, they have the divine will, and you can find harmony with your own human free will, non-tainted by the ego. So we want them to find each other and like work together. It's not you belong to the highest self and you have to be their pal, their little soldier. No, you get to choose actually. You get to, have a relay with them. They're learning from you. They're learning from you having this experience here. They aren't a master. They're like unconditionally loving. And your higher self already like is very much like who you are right now. It's just you are who you are. Allow yourself to really receive that energy trickling down from the third eye into your throat, into your heart, into your solar plexus, into your sacral, and into your roots. I can see that some of us, and that's totally fine, some of us have a true separation between the head and the body. And there's like a huge container that just tightens. So allow yourself to sing something out. Allow yourself to make some noise. Allow yourself to grunt like an animal. Like, this is not something we can fix in like one moment, I guess. But feel free to use your voice day by day. Like, even the fact that I can't really channel like language right now is a reflection to the fact that there's a throat block. So I want all of us to, not have flux, be connected between that divine will and then the body, which, has some chakra connected to the ego, connected to the animal, connected to what can we protect, how can we protect ourselves, how can we defend ourselves, how can we make sure that we have everything ready for the next month. All right, let's come back here. Let's come back. Let's ground back up. The transmission has been delivered, but we can integrate it now. We can anchor that energy now by talking. So come back. Come back and let me know. Write your comments. I'll go to them one by one in order. So write something that you like to share, something that you're okay with sharing in this public area where you know you will be protected. No one will project, no one will take away from you. Like, I'm hosting that space. I want everyone to be in their own energy. But share with me, what's your problem in day-to-day life with connecting to spirituality, with connecting to your divine will, with connecting to who you might think you are, who you know you are, who you know you aren't. Like, what are situations where you feel like there's more reactions from your animal or your ego self than your divine self? The third eye is all about perceptions. It's all about translating what we receive through the crown. So when you take the time to write all those comments, in the meantime, I'm going to present a little bit more the third eye. So we have a body, right? We have a physical body. And on top of that physical body, we have energy bodies. So we're going to talk about the etheric body right now. On top of it, there's many other bodies, but we're going to talk about the energy etheric body. So we have different chakras. I mentioned some of them, the fact that we have 7 individual chakras. My work is to present the other chakras, but right now we're doing the third eye. So the third eye is here, and it's between the throat and it's between the crown chakra. The crown chakra is literally opening a door into the cosmos, into what's happening around you, like on this earth, and what's happening in the sky and what's happening underneath earth. Like it's basically your antenna that gets the Wi-Fi. That's how you get the information. So when you open your crown, you're actually receiving a lot of things. That's why I highly encourage you to sometimes wear hats. It's kind of a protection that says you're not open to getting more information, but you're actually going to process what you already have within. You cut yourself off from the exterior world. So when we work with the third eye, we're actually here to digest the information we just got through the crown. And I know that it's not universally thought of that way. It's more like my Kundalini rose and now I see everything. But actually, the third eye is really like the processing of things. So either you process things being triggered by your nervous system, by a very open crown chakra, and you get a lot of information and everything is confusing and you don't really know what, you know? And then true sovereignty is having that third eye open where you're like, open to divine will, open to your own perception. You know how to digest things, you know how to process things, and then you're able to direct your energy and make reality as you want it to be for yourself. So, for example, Egyptians had this, we talk about Kundalini rising, so it's a snake that is between your hips and goes all the way into your spine and activates the different points in your energy body, and it just really frees you from a lot of things that you're holding in, and then it goes all the way up your spine, and then it goes on top of your skull, and it opens as a cobra, so it has those wings, like those wings that protects your brain, between your skull and your brain, and then the head of the snake comes that way, and that's called the Urias. So Urias, trying, and that is really like directing, being sovereign, being protected, and deciding that you're going to see the world for what it is, but not according to everyone's voices that says, And there's way more to it, but I just wanted to share that. So when I was studying the Egyptians as well, they worked a lot with gargoyles, just like church did with, intimidating others by putting gargoyles outside of buildings. Egyptians had more like lions and cobras. And I was very fascinated by the fact that the Uranus looks like you're putting a gargoyle on top of yourself and kind of not intimidating others, but being like, hey, I'm sovereign. Hey, I know. Like, you can't input that whatever belief and mindset you have on me. Like, I know, I hold the stance. I hold your gaze. I am here with that snake. So that's something I wanted to give, because that's kind of what I want. Like, we went into those different hallways, we went into your temple, and we analyzed things as per your higher self and your divine will, your divine self. And it's important to hold your grounds, because the world is trying to take your attention, trying to take your energy and input their perspective. And like, everything is just people sharing their perspectives, which is amazing, but it's also kind of confusing to a lot of different nervous system, because we just keep on taking information and we never can settle on what is true, because guess what? There's no absolute truth. You get to choose what is your truth, what are your values, what you're going to advance with, what is your compass towards advancing things. because that's what sovereignty is like, and that's what's going to take you. If you keep being stopped by everyone else's perceptions, you might not advance a lot. So yeah. A lot of people talk about, manifestation and things like that, which is, cool. But what's important is the fact that you really like gather that maturity towards like setting on your grounds, which doesn't need to be aggressive towards others, but like deciding where you're going and like what's your perception. And of course you're going to be, welcoming in, new perspectives, but who should you be welcoming in? I think you should be, I don't think you should, I don't use the word should, but okay. Like I shared in my Twitter thread yesterday, I do think about a lot of things, and I can perceive a lot of things, especially being highly sensitive. Growing up in a space where things feel dangerous means I am super aware of everything because I'm afraid of danger. I need to prepare for it. I'm super used to preparing for danger. So I am aware of everything that comes up, and it means that it's exhausting. It's really exhausting. You can't leave. You're stressed and anxious and all those things. So that's why I talked about the Akashic Records, and that's why we're going to talk about the Akashic Records, because that's a way where you connect with divine will, with your divine eyes, and you can really choose the perception where you're safe, you're loved, because you keep yourself safe and because you love yourself, and then you're going to advance. So yeah. So I'm going to read your comments. If you have anything to say about this, please do, and I would love to dig in deeper. So we've got Javier saying, giving so much of myself to others that I never have enough for myself. Thank you so much for sharing this. So I know we've talked about this, and I'm just going to tap into the records to answer this, because I don't want to, again, give my perspective. So to be very clear, I'm channeling the Akashic Records of the energetical human anatomy. That's what I said. I'm not channeling my records. I'm not channeling your records. I'm channeling the records of just what a human body in 2020 looks like, and what does it mean towards the energetics of our relationship with others and what we do, and the shadow self. That's what I'm channeling. So giving so much of myself to others that I never have enough for myself. So what I see is that there's really I'm not going to only talk to Javier right now. I'm going to talk to everyone. There's different energy bodies, so there's different anatomy as well. That's it. There's people who are just more and cannot rest until others that are around you are taken care of. They will take care of themselves because they have a more porous energy body, and they actually can take in more energy and then transform it for others. That's just, and it's not gendered, it's not anything, it's just different energy bodies. So we don't have to dig into your trauma. We can actually see that this is an algorithm that you identify as, and within that algorithm there's like different frequencies of it. So this can be seen as a problem, or this can be seen as a true gift. Now, giving others so that you never have enough for yourself, that might become a problem. So what can you do? How can you do this? Can you actually then gather more and like know that you will be giving to others, so you actually gather more energy? Like someone doing just doing shopping and like would buy more pasta because they know people are coming over for dinner. Like, can you harness more energy so that you actually, whenever you give to others, there's still enough for you? Take that into account. Yeah, I would not expect that answer, but I like that. Then we've got Christian. I feel like the more I open my heart to all beings, these strings all equalize, or the stuff that has accumulated on them gets strummed off like a guitar, and the light of those webs can be respected. Okay, I like that. I don't have an answer, but like I just wanted to read that out loud. About the energy body and about this very thing, there's that resonance, right? Like if you play an instrument, the other instruments are going to play with your tempo and your rhythm and things, or they're not, and then they're going to escape the room because resonance, and it would not be harmonious. So there is such a thing with energy as well, or if you actually go into a specific frequency through your inner work, then the people around you will either have to react and leave the room, or they will be uplifted because they will resonate with you. It really depends on the frequency you're in. And if you tap into the frequency of the alpha, which is, we have beta, blah, blah. If you are an alpha, you're not trying to control, you're not trying to impose something on someone, you're just doing you. And that naturally does something to others where they're offered a path into maybe doing this. And that's beautiful. We can see that with animals as well, like the way they interact. So I like that. Like, we're so complex. The energy body is so complex. We've got Jessica. I resist as a form of self-sabotage. The more I grow, the more I desire to move out and away from the toxic energy of family. The more I grow, the more I see how they try to keep me on their level. So no one can control you. That's like, no one can control you. And if you think such things about people that are outside of you, can you please look inside of you and like look at how you're doing that to yourself? I hate saying this, and maybe that wasn't the right words. Let me just take some time to. Okay, it's just not an easy truth, but it has to be said. And if you need to go, go. Like, if you think this is toxic energy, why are you staying? Because you did mention the word self-sabotage. So, one, give yourself Reiki on your spleen. The spleen is here. So give yourself Reiki, or because you did Reiki school, or give yourself energy healing, or go to someone who can do that on your spleen. Because the spleen, I have a whole healing program on the spleen chakra on my website. The link is down below. But the spleen is where the self-sabotage is. Self-sabotage hides itself. You don't usually notice it. So do that, okay? Take over that. And then if you need to go, go. But please know that no one can control you. Like, no one. Like, energetically speaking, no one can control you. So are you giving consent to it or not? And usually when things happen externally, it's because it's also happening in a way internally. So ask yourself, is there a way where you're trying to keep yourself at a specific level and you're not allowing yourself to go higher? Or in a different stance, we don't have to talk about levels, but yeah. Is it helping? I hope it helps. Then we've got Mashi saying, conditioned fear from narcissistic abuse from my parents. My amygdala reacts to everything and everyone, and I'm just afraid. I always think people want to attack and is angry at you. I get you. I have the same with one of my parents, and then it's, I mean, I don't think I'm out of it, but let me channel an answer. But just like me, Capucine, give yourself Reiki here and draw shields, like truly draw shields. You could make an energetical shield here, being like, whenever I go somewhere, like I was saying, wear a hat, maybe have a necklace, maybe have a scarf, maybe draw chokure on each side and in the back as well. But let me channel something as well. So what I understand is the fact that when we have narcissistic people around you, they are trying to take energy from us because they want to be seen, they want the attention, whichever way it comes, through being a bully or not. So they're trying to take energy from you. So you try to defend your energy and be like, oh, it will be easier if I just give it to them. If I just give them some of my energy, it will be easier. That's how they're showing me. I'm not talking about you specifically. And it would be immensely powerful for everyone here to say out loud and like do a whole ritual where you're like, I will not choose like I did, and it will never be that way again. My energy is my energy. I will not be coerced or forced to give my energy to others. I will consciously choose when and who to give it to. Yeah, I like that. Like you have ownership of that. Sometimes with abuse, you're being gaslit into thinking that you have to do things, but you really don't have. And when you've been born into those families where since birth you've been taught that your energy should be given, then it just continues, right? And then we continue either meeting people that think that way or not. But the first thing that you could be doing is realize in your heart, like not as a fact, but take that and realize that you truly, truly own your energy and it's yours and no one else's, and your attention and your time. Like you have maybe mantras, maybe meditations, like it's an everyday job because we've been born into those environments. It's an everyday job. It's not that one thing. It could be, but it's usually an everyday thing. And one more thing that I want to say is as above, so below. That's what I'm discovering with working with the Soul Star. We talk about, the idea of how it is that way, so it must be that way, and like what you think will be how I feel inside and stuff. It's the same with your soul. Sometimes, and I experienced that, the problems that we have here is problems that we have not only in past lives, but in actual incarnations on different soul constellations. So could you go there? Could you go there as a soul and like reconnect to that life where you've been harnessed for energy? Narcissistic don't only exist on Earth. They could be also out there in different timelines, in different dimensions. So could you do that? And this is why I'm going to like do a little shout out, but this is my next retreat. The Soul Star is all about this, like soul healing, going into the galactic and healing those things, healing these storylines that we've been carrying through in our times on Earth because we experienced them millenniums ago. So the links are also down below. It's going to be powerful, and yeah, so that. I hope it helped. Christian, lovely visual with the cobra. Actually, I'm just now realizing the prejudice I had at cobras because of the trauma in the past I had associated with spitting. Thank you for being you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Then we have another comment from Ashi saying, I feel unsafe and loved, and this is the only reality for me. Okay, get to decide the other. Like something I talked about in Reiki school, I think. Or did I? I talked about it somewhere. As above, so below again. Like if you, I did in Reiki school. Energy is transformation. You can't create energy. You can't just decide, well, life is going to be easy. You actually have to sacrifice something and sacrifice maybe the bad things and sacrifice the reality where you feel unsafe and unloved and be like, this unsafe and unloved as a reality, as a concept with all the things that it comes with, I'm going to shift it. I'm going to transform that into that. It's alchemy. So what does it mean unconsciously? What does it mean consciously to be unsafe and unloved? It means maybe you spend a lot of time alone. You don't open yourself up to other people. You actually are used to feeling unsafe and unloved. So we're going to shift it into feeling safe and loved, which means well, you're going to have to open your heart to feeling loved, which is something super uncomfortable if you're not used to it. You're going to meet new people and meet new friends, which means you're also going to maybe quit the friends that make you feel unsafe and unloved, which is also super difficult. Alchemy, it's magic, yeah, sure. And it's super amazing. And you get to feel safe and loved. But if you're not there yet, it's because there are some things that you're scared of. There's parts of you who are scared of being loved and safe. And I get that, been there and still there in some ways. So do that ritual and take the time and cry the tears and maybe see someone, have a personal session with, a licensed therapist or an energy healer or anyone else. But that could really help. But I know I'm like super into the solution, but like I'm also empathic to the situation because I totally get it. We have Sam saying, I fear judgment to the point that I'm afraid to express myself and my new growth to others because I fear that they will question me for changing and that I'll need to prove myself somehow. I totally understand. And in that case, like I was just trying to channel the answer, but one, you don't have to prove yourself. Your choice is enough. Decision is enough. You don't need to write a book about, why you're doing things. If they are questioning you and they don't understand that this is the best for you, then are they truly friends? But also, we have different parts of ourselves within us. So connect with the divine will that we just opened, but also prep that text. Prep that text that responds with sovereignty and with like, well, I'm sorry, but I decided, and this is how I feel better, and this is what's the best for me, and that's how we could do this. Like, if you actually meet me with my standards, then we could still be friends, right? Are you going to learn honesty or, whatever? So, yeah, maybe prep that text, but also, like, you truly don't have to justify yourself. And in that case, I would suggest implementing shadow integration and being like, who made you believe that you had to justify yourself in your formative years, in your childhood? Then we've got the spontaneous girl. I think for me is that I'm not financially secure, that my energy feels restless. I understand. Could you find a way to get financially secure? I know those times are really difficult and hard for everyone. So maybe it means another job. Maybe it means training for another job that you might get to in a few months when life gets to non-COVID life. Is there something else you could be doing or someone you could ask for help? You're not going to feel, if you are in the mentality of it's anxious and there's lack of money, then you're not going to be like, oh yeah, okay, cool, I'm good now. Yeah. We've got Daisy222 only just joined, so I don't know exactly what topic we're all talking about right now. But I just wanted to say I'm sending you love, Capucine. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. Thank you. You can watch the replay. I also if you just move that mouse, you can watch the full replay as of now. That's a cool update. Javier says, thank you, makes so much sense. Jessica, it's not so much they control me. Well, it's more like they get extra petty. I let my shutdown action get triggered. I'm going to move out a second and financially will you. What you said make a lot of sense, though. Family reflects who you are, what you're going through, and I'm sure my growth triggers them on some level. And you will look into the spleen. Yeah. Well, get to that plan B. Get neutral. You don't have to become like a victim or the bully of them by leaving, right? Those are just storylines and it's avoiding your true growth. So don't become the victim, don't become the bully. I'm talking again to the story of Jessica. Neutral. Okay, you're in that situation right now. What's the solution? Truly, what's the solution? Maybe GoFundMe and we help you financially. Maybe any kind of hustle on the internet, or maybe a second job. Like, what can you do? Let's be neutral. Let's keep on building. Like, you could do something a little bit every day, and in 2 months you're gone, or in 6 months you're gone. So that you learn Reiki is cool. Launch your Reiki services, but do get yourself in the best state possible before giving Reiki to others. But yeah. Okay, we've got hello all, and then Corridazing, alchemy utilizing the law of polarity. Yes. The spontaneous girl, additional on what I said, because I grew up in a Catholic religion. Now that I discover about spirituality, I'm still having a hard time on my beliefs. I get it, totally get it. And maybe the beliefs that you're being shown through spirituality are talked in a way that just doesn't resonate yet. So keep on building, keep on getting to the voices of other people. One of them is going to resonate. One of them is going to help you. One of them is going to be like, oh, got it. So that could be helping. That could be helpful. I do have the same background, super Catholic religious for many years. So maybe listen to my podcast, maybe watch my other videos, maybe join my teachings on the Shapeshifter platform, which is $14.60 a month. Because I talk a lot about those things, just like we're doing right now. And maybe that voice helps. I'm not, Then Karen said, I spent all year saying, this is how I take care of myself. No, I'm sorry, no concessions. And the family has eventually accepted it. I like that. See, Jessica, you can do that too. You can be like, whoa. This is how I take care of myself. This is what I need. I know you don't understand it. I know it's triggering for you to see that we could stay off of the path that our family is on and actually make it and actually feel good. Maybe you could learn things from me. Let's go. Let's meditate. Let's meditate. Spontaneous girl, and somehow I don't know how to show it to the people around me. I understand. I hope you get that. Okay, Jessica, I went to the Atlas Adjustment Chiropractor. Yes, so good. Okay, I'm so good. I'm so happy because you had a lot of problems with your spine and now you got them fixed. Yes, so good. Cool. Okay, yes. Then Mashi says, thank you so much. I have so much questions, but first I realize I finally have to face the healing and energy healing. I must commit. Just feel a part of me resist it. Don't know why. Well, then get to your spleen again. Get to the spleen healing program on my website. It's so cheap. It's like 4 weeks of healing, 4 weeks of meditation and Reiki healing and light language to get to that self-sabotage. It has all the questions, all the journaling you need, because I'm the pro at self-sabotage. I'm a Scorpio. Hi. So I faced it and I was like, let's go into it. And that was really helpful. Karen did it. So maybe Karen, you want to say how the spleen helped you, but any other question, any other thing? Thank you everyone for sharing. Thank you for trusting me. Like, thank you for this moment. I know sometimes it's scary, but sometimes just writing it really, really helps. So I hope that this helped. I want to jump into the next part where we're actually going to implement what we've been doing here for like 1 hour and 10 minutes now into what could life be as we continue, right? So as we continue this life, as we, end this video and this stream, what could we do to allow divine will to come in? Well, there's a few. Well, one of them is meeting your higher self. Your higher self is that understanding that we are different fractals, and one of them is here on this planet, and then one of them is having a parallel timeline and existing on a different planet, maybe, or a different time. For me, I know where mine is because I just kind of understood it through energy workers, channelers, my own astrology, and just my own experiences. But there is a higher self for you. It's yours. It's you, basically, somewhere. And I would love for you to ask, where is it? And like meet that higher self. You could do that through meditation. You could do that through my next retreat. You could do that through different healers who do this. I'm going to shout out to the healing page. She is really, really powerful with a lot of different sessions. So the healing page, if you want to work with rediscovering your soul abilities, and that will connect you with different layers of, activating your soul. You could also, I know that Gangsta Guri is doing sessions with the highest self. That's like most of his work right now. So Gangsta Guri, you know them, right? I don't need to write their name. Yes, and they're also on the podcast if you need to, or on Twitter. I mean, they're everywhere. So that. And also, hi, let's get a little bit more serious for a minute, but the Akashic Records. So if you don't know what the Akashic Records are, let's go. The Akashic Records is a dimension. So dimension doesn't need to be a space, right? It's another way of being aware. It's being connected to another state and interacting with the keepers of the Akashic Records, which are entities that have been registering everything that's been happening since the beginning of life. And when you access your Akashic Records with your birth name, you could ask a question and get answers. And those answers are pure omniscience. They're pure divine will. They show you what's been happening as the actual absolute truth. I know I mentioned the fact that there's no absolute truth. I mean, on this planet right now, there's no absolute truth. That's something that we will get to as we ascend. But Akashic Records, your absolute truth. You can ask questions, you could get answers, you could receive healing. They can attune you to different Reiki or different programs or different abilities. So much. How do you get there? You get there when you're sober for like 24 hours and you assume you're going to be sober for the next 24 hours. Then there's different prayers. So some people use different symbols, some people use different singing, different putting yourself in a state, but usually there's prayers. So there's the prayer that is the most famous that you could Google right now without buying a book, because the others are mostly in books. I gathered them in my thymus chakra retreat, which you can choose, which you can download and replay on my website. But anyway, the most famous prayer is called the Pathway Prayer by Dr. Linda Howe. I'm sure you heard of it, so you could Google it, get the PDF, get the words, and start saying out loud the parts that are out loud and silent the parts that are silent. And what will happen is that you will maybe feel different, maybe see things, maybe hear things, and be respectful and say hi. But also start asking questions. And maybe you could ask questions out loud. Maybe you could write them and do some automatic writing. Maybe you could consult an Akashic Records reader. And you could start asking questions about what your soul, your highest self is, what those situations that we talked about are, and you could start getting real answers. And they're going to give you advices or like insights on what's, being played, what's going to happen. So I really recommend this as, as we end this call, as we go towards life. It doesn't take long. You don't need to become a monk. You don't need to meditate 12 hours a day for months before accessing the Akashic Records. It's actually getting more and more accessible, and using that prayer or different prayers, you will get acclimated to the frequency more and more. So try it out. The Pathway Prayer by Dr. Linda Howe. I'm going to write it also in the details. Let me put on some light. I can see I'm in the dark right now. Okay. So I'm still here. So maybe you could do that on a specific day every week, or maybe 5 minutes every day. It doesn't need to be long. When you acclimate to that frequency, to the Akashic Records, it might be super intense to some people. So, go, stay 2 minutes, And when you need to close them because it's too intense, you just close them. And then you can go back the day after. And you will see that slowly you get acclimated to it. So you're going to be able to stay longer and longer. They will require things out of you. They will guide you towards becoming your best self. So it means that there will be changes. It means that you will be experiencing changes in the way you perceive the world, in the way you attach to the world, in the way you detach to the world and others and things like that. But I really, really recommend that. Doing that, at least try for 2 weeks. I mean, don't give up if the first time or the first 2 or 3 times didn't work out, or you didn't hear a voice, or you started doubting it. Please try, persevere, try. It's really what changed me. I mean, if you came here from reading my thread in on Twitter, it really, really, really stabilized a lot of the things that were happening based on having lived like a traumatic time, and it really helped me, and it still helps me to this day, because some things just didn't go away yet. I'm still having like difficulties with a lot of things, and going there, having a safe space, a safe energetical space, it really, 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 really transforms you. Like, I wouldn't be here speaking. I was afraid of cameras before. I was a photographer, so I was behind the camera, and now I'm able to be myself. I'm not playing a game. Like, this is me, and be here with 14 people of you. And yeah, so a lot of healing comes through there. It's truly beautiful. So that's another solution that was channeled to me many times, and again right now, is asking yourself. Basically, we become aware, right? We become conscious. So it means that we have a conscience, and that conscience, it will require you to be integral, to be in integrity. Otherwise, you're not going to be peaceful. You're just going to have a lot of questions, and you're going to feel like you're doing something wrong, because some things are wrong. Like, sometimes we do things that are wrong. We steal, or we lie, or we manipulate. Even if we can find a version of it where it looks like we're not truly manipulating, deep down, we know in our guts that this isn't right. We know. So ask yourself, do that shadow integration. Like, am I being in integrity right now? I know sometimes it's difficult, but at least asking yourself in the moments, like, what is integrity? Is it integral that I get to keep that, or do that, or say that? Is it integral that they get to do that and say that? Like, what is honesty? What is transparency? What is the highest path for others? I mean, towards me, or me towards others, or towards situations. What is true? What is something stable where I'm not gonna be unable to sleep at night because I'm thinking about those things? So that's also something that really helps. Does it help? So in the moment, like, getting those triggers where you're like, yeah, what is fair? True? Is it fair? In the sense of justice, is it fair? One thing that I want to say quickly is justice doesn't exist here. Like, the archetype of justice is not on this planet. I got that channel, that download at the beginning of the summer. Like, she's not here. She's not here. She's disguised as Eris, the goddess of discord. It's pretty much looks the same, not the same energy. So justice does not exist here. If you are bringing justice towards yourself by actually standing your grounds and standing your boundaries, you are helping this archetype to come down on this planet, which is what we're doing. By becoming conscious, we're allowing new frequencies to anchor into Earth. So please do your part. Be just to yourself. You're going to feel peaceful, and it's going to be so much easier. So one exercise that I gave a lot is in different meditations, which you can find on the Shapeshifter, for example, is the idea of having a compass. So I'm going to draw it for you. So you have a compass, and then you just select, like, what is your north? What are you going towards you? What is the value that you want your life to reflect? Where do you come from? Like, what is your value right now? Where are you going? And like, who are your auxiliaries, the East and the West? Who is going to help you to be there? So for me, it's integrity. So what's going to help me? Clarity through the Akashic Records. Honesty through being honest to the world around me. Where am I right now? Authenticity. And I want more of that through integrity. So that's kind of the exercise that I do with myself. Do it with yourself. And you could do a whole meditation on that. Try to discover what's within you. Yeah. Spirituality is morality in the end. That's something I shared with Gangsta Gary actually on the podcast. If you're not morally standing, if you're not like doing the moral things, then you're not spiritual. Spirituality is not about crystals and stars. It's about being true to yourself and being true to others. Being like just, I don't know, I don't even have the words, being moral. Like, that's it. That's who we are. And that's something that was used as a weapon through different religions before. So we kind of are scared of this kind of talk, but it's truly what we need to do. Don't cheat, don't kill people, don't lie, don't steal. That's it. Yeah. So asking yourself, what is fair? What is fair? And are others being fair to you? Like, if they're taking your energy, if they're making you feel bad about your own choices towards your betterment and safety, are they being fair to you? No. Do they deserve time? And no. Do you want to educate them towards understanding what's being fair? That's your choice. You don't have to. If you want to, cool. But yeah. So all those, things can trickle down into your life. Like asking what's being fair in the moment, that's cool. Asking the Akashic Records, maybe having a ritual weekly where you sit down and you have an automatic writing sessions with them. That's amazing. You don't have to wait for the new moon and the full moon to do rituals. You can do something whenever you feel like it. So, does anyone has any question? I did everything I wanted to do today with the third eye. So if you have any question, please drop them. I'm excited to hear your voice, or read your words. But in the meantime, I'm going to say, if you enjoyed this, I have way more. So I linked down the place where you can get to all the workshops about the different chakras. There's like full retreats on the transpersonal chakras where it's like a day long or a week long. And I'm not done with them. The next one is next week, November 19th until November 25th. You want to do that one live. Don't do the replay, because when you do the live version, you're going to have a Saturday session with me next Saturday where it's an Akashic Record session, one-on-one. If you don't do it live, then you're going to get the replay and there's no Akashic Record session. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, share it with your friend. This is going to be linked on my page all the time. Share it on social media. Like, I need your help, but I also think everyone needs this kind of help, this kind of, meditation, or even the energy healing, or maybe the words. But I'm sure some people will find some good in it. So thank you so much for doing that. And yeah, if you enjoyed it and you want to give back, you can tip me. I put my PayPal link down below, and that would, always make me happy to have a good coffee or like cake. Yeah, whatever. And I'm going to stay here for 5 more minutes if any question comes on. And yeah, subscribe. Next, we're going to do the crown chakra. Yeah, I'm excited for that one too. But yeah, and if you have stories of connecting to the Akashic Records, DM me. Let me know how it was. Was it transformative? Was it amazing? The Pathway Prayer, Dr. Linda Howe. If you want to Google it, I'm going to write it here. I think I can comment. Dr. Linda Howe, the Pathway Prayer. Yeah. But anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for being live here. I'm so excited by the turnout. That was really cool. So thanks. So my go-to prayer to connect to the records, I've been doing this for like 3 years now, so I don't really use any prayer anymore. I do light language and it gets me there. So I do have like it just changes. I'm also a manifesting generator, so I change my ways all the time. Sometimes I'm going to use the prayer. I really love the other prayer that I put in the thymus chakra retreats. It's been transformative for me because I first got it in French, and I think using your native language is so powerful. By the way, if you are from Central America, I posted the original mime prayer. So if you would like to use that, if it is in your genes, it might be extremely powerful for you. So I'm going to try to find it on my Twitter and repost it so you get to that. And yes, thank you for appreciating me. How do you know when you are there, when you are first starting? Just ask, am I there? You'll get an answer. And if you don't, you're not there. But if you use the prayer, you are there. It just gets to acclimating to the energy. Yeah. Any other question? All right. So, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Oh, one last question. How to discern imagination versus what you receive intuitively? Ask again. Just ask again. It's really difficult to discern them because we're basically, if your energy field is, filled with a lot of things, it's going to be difficult. Usually, asking for a question where you see the answers is definitely something you would have never come up with by using specific words that you don't know of or specific perspective that totally discard the fact that you can have an ego who attaches to a certain way and to being right, and they're kind of showing you in a kind of way that you're not being right. That's a big discernment, but also just like ask again. Like, it's okay if you ask 3 times. Are you sure? Are you sure? Am I imagining this? You'll usually get a yes or no. Yeah, I'm the queen of that. But also, like, if you truly don't know, it's okay to book a session with someone, and it's okay to just have an Akashic Records session with someone and ask them, like, this prayer doesn't work for me. What is the best way for me to enter there? So book your favorite reader and ask them. Yeah. All right. That's the end of our time. 90 minutes. Good job. Thank you. Have a wonderful Saturday. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy new moon in Scorpio. Thank you so much, right?